Hi Capricorn, welcome to your April forecast. I'm sorry it's a little bit late. This is the taroscope and horoscope for you, sun, moon and rising in Capricorn, and this has been a big energy. Queen of Swords. Jupiter conjunct Pluto in your sign occurs 3 times this year. It occurs April, it occurs in June, and it occurs in November. There is a lot of talk that this energy in particular, the Capricorn energy, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, devil energy, is behind the current restructuring, which is true. Queen of Swords and the Devil. You need very clearly to establish a boundary. You need very clearly to establish healthy boundaries. Because quite possibly you are either asserting no boundaries whatsoever, or the boundaries that you are asserting are unhealthy. They're separating you. They're keeping you from people that you love. And it may not necessarily be a boundary, no, that you've set in place. You may be feeling quite isolated during quarantine. Or you may feel like you're really being challenged by the shadow side of an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, or possibly your own shadow. The thing about Jupiter is that it has this habit of expanding. It expands the energy. And Pluto is quite the undertaker. And when you combine the two, and you combine the two in your first house of self, you start to feel an overinflated sense of awareness of your shortcomings, your shadow side, but also where you are feeling like you are simply too much in some way, or you are too little, but I think more so too much. Or somebody is telling you that your behavior at the moment is being too much, but is it though? Is it all smoke and mirrors? That's where asserting healthy boundaries comes into play. You need to trust what you see, what you say, what you hear, especially what you hear. And in any sense of the word, don't be gaslit by people that know you know yourself better than that. But they know that you're feeling a little bit confused at the moment about what it is that's coming up. And that's okay. So Capricorn, Aries season for you is of course that family season. It is that rest and recuperation season. It's very appropriate for quarantine indeed. 2 of Pentacles, you're weighing up carefully and you're trying to find some kind of balance between that shadow side and that boss energy that you have. And quite possibly, Capricorn, you are trying to make everybody happy. 3 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. To what cost? Possibly your own sanity. Possibly your own happiness. Possibly your own mental well-being. But nonetheless, no matter what's going on in your personal life, no matter how worried or troubled you are, in true Capricorn fashion, you continue to put down building blocks. You continue to work. You continue to learn. You continue to set things up for the future regardless of the emotional temperament. And this is why Capricorns, I think, in my opinion, are such good friends and lovers to water signs, because when a water sign goes down with their feelings, Capricorn is always the one encouraging you to keep working, to keep focusing and make sure that the material is all in place and that your personal life does not interfere with your financial status or your comfort. But what does this mean for you? Well, you simply keep going and you're headed towards something quite successful, particularly as we hedge towards Taurus season. The full moon in Libra for you, Capricorn, was exposing a new career path. For some of you, it was starting a new job, which, of course, in full moon fashion, means leaving something behind. For some of you, it was deciding that enough is enough in a particular career path or trajectory. For some of you, it is exposing, particularly with Pluto and Jupiter meeting, it is exposing a desire, a want for some kind of success that you've wanted for a very long time, but that you felt you didn't have the resources or the wherewithal to go for. And right now, you can't quite stop thinking about that. Now, you're headed towards King of Wands energy. So you learn something from Aries season. Especially if you're romantically connected with a fire sign. 7 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, your energy. If you are romantically connected with a fire sign who's really driven, who's really ambitious, who really wants something more for themselves in terms of their success, then they're very focused on that. And I think you feel a little bit left out in the cold. Regardless, I think you feel very pushed back if it is a fire sign. Even if it's somebody that's not romantically in your life, the fire signs are very, very, very positive about their future at the minute. And if it's not quite right now, they will get there. If you're romantically involved with a fire sign, all I will say is have patience. They will settle down by Taurus season. And by Taurus season, you are focused on your own things. For those of you that have a lot of worry, a lot of strife, I implore you with the 5 of Cups to focus on the 2 cups still standing. The things that you like about your life right now, the things that you're looking around and feeling good about. The things that make you feel love in its purest form, that is what will heal you with Temperance. And if you are very sad about a Sagittarius, I think there is quite possibly still something to be gleaned from that. Especially in Taurus season, especially as Venus moves into shadow of Gemini, the Sagittarius will probably come back around in some way, shape or form if you're still wanting them to. 9 of Wands. I think a lot of you are still wanting them to. Another earth sign in your life, a Taurus, Virgo, or maybe another Capricorn, is really sad about something. They have a wound that seems to be something that only you can pick up. And they probably want that kind of recognition. I don't know that they're that good at bringing it up themselves. I think this is a friendship scenario, but I think if there is another earth sign in your life, Capricorn, they desperately want your advice. As I said, you're very good with people when they are emotional. The moon. Even though you have a rep for not being, I know that you are. 9 of Wands and the moon. The Taurus new moon, as we approach Taurus season, is illuminating a very positive sector of the chart, yet the new moon in Taurus is not without its difficulties. This 2020 energy is choppy. It's transformative. And it is for sure letting everybody meet the true authentic self. And this new moon in Taurus is doing something of that ilk. It is illuminating a passion in particular, or a want. For some of you, it is manifesting as broodiness, really wanting children. For some of you, it's the desire to create something that you can leave behind, something creative, something artistic, a hobby, something that brings you great joy and fulfillment. Underneath we have the Knight of Swords, the Emperor, the 8 of Wands, and the 10 of Pentacles. For a lot of you, with Saturn shifting into Aquarius, into your money sector, you're going to curb impulse spending, that's for sure. And for some of you that might be putting a lot of resources, a lot of energy, a lot of time into helping a father figure or even a boss figure, it's starting to feel a little bit like a struggle. For some of you, this 7 of Wands, 6 of Cups, 4 of Wands energy, and the 3 of Swords is extreme homesickness, extreme worry. With the 6 of Swords, it feels as though 6 of Swords in the Wheel of Fortune, it feels like that will turn around and things as scary as they seem will not be so by the end of Taurus season. Aries season for you with the Emperor, the Knight of Swords, and the 8 of Wands is actually quite fast-paced in terms of career and money. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of new skills to get, or there's a lot of changes that need to be made instantly. Things feel very snappy. And that is the effect of the Libra full moon. There is a lot of changes come up for you in your career. As this was a super moon, it is supercharged, and the energy surrounding your career and your public persona is intensified. And your reputation is intensified. People are probably talking, let them talk, don't worry about them, do what you do, where you focus more on the task at hand than the rest of it. Don't let yourself get bogged down in emotional gossip, and if you feel that other people are talking, block it out, don't let them talk. That's their thing. If you need to communicate with an Aries or an air sign and you feel like they're being particularly stubborn, seek out advice of your nearest and dearest. There's some hidden pearls of wisdom in there. Okay. April, Capricorn, is an interesting one, and it is a time that you can find some kind of healing over grief, healing over sadness, healing over worry. And it requires a bit of balance. It requires a bit of moderation. It requires you to get to the root of what this extreme behavior is and have those healthy boundaries in place. You are not a bad person for saying no. I think for some of you, saying no is a bit overdue in some area of your life. And I think you could do with putting a little bit more energy into resting, particularly as this is Aries season, and particularly if you feel a little bit off kilter emotionally. So I think one of the things that sticks out most to me about April is the Sun Uranus conjunction in Taurus, because it occurs in a very fun area, a very surprising, exciting area. And the patience of Temperance and the Nine of Wands and the Moon suggest that something occurs that you just didn't see coming, but it seems to occur as your energy balances out. So I'm going to clarify the Moon real quick to see what that is. Knight of Wands. Okay. An opportunity comes out that you weren't expecting, but you need to move quick on it. Four of Swords. But you're tired, so you don't know if you want to. It could be romantic, it could be creative. I think for a lot of you it's romantic. Two of Cups underneath. I think the new moon in Taurus shows you where you could speed it up a little bit and where you could slow down. Ironically, both. That makes sense with Temperance. It is balancing out your action and your emotions. If you feel from the Libra full supermoon that you are a little bit teary or a little bit, as I say, exceptionally emotional, it is because you have some things that you need to work out. And I think it's because you've either been doing too much action or not enough boundary setting. But Venus is now in shadow in Gemini, and for you, of course, that is your sector of habits. Now it's going to go retrograde. It's going to really draw out your self-evaluation in your romantic life. And I think for a lot of you, again, I just think primarily it's to do with setting boundaries, and it's also to do with having a healthy level of sticking up for yourself, no matter the union, no matter how long it's been since you've been together, or whomever is coming into your life in what way form, Capricorn. It's a lot to do with healthy boundaries. This is your year. Jupiter is in your sign, and it's conjunct Pluto, and the energy is intense, and you need a breather. And it's also going to really make you step up in what you can expand in this world for yourself and what you can take out. Not all is as it seems. Not an Aries season anyway. But I think there is quite a pleasant surprise that you don't see coming. Something that seemingly seemed like nothing pops in around the 22nd, 23rd of April. Some kind of opportunity, some kind of message, something that you didn't see coming pops around. And I think it's pretty nice. Especially if it's to do with the Sagittarius. We'll find out in the extended. See you there, Capricorn. Bye.